Let's get back into it, folks. All right, so today we're going to cover the one ad type that really pulled through, that allowed me to scale a brand from about $20,000 a month to $200,000 a month, only in 4 months. So, ad designs. Now, the ad that did it for us was a product introduction ad. It's a pretty simple ad, and it's a pretty basic but really crucial ad type. Now, ad designs are how you structure and write your ads. Now, the way you design your ads will impact how digestible they are by viewers and how much a person can understand the ad. And that's important because the more they understand it, the more they can buy, right? Confused people are not going to spend their money. So you want people to understand your advertising so they can then, make a good decision for themselves. Now, the first step in selling your product is getting the prospecting ad done, which is the ad that goes out to people who have no idea who you are and what you make. So that's the ad that really brings in new customers, all right? And the main way to do this, one of the main formulas here, is the product introduction ad. This is usually an image or a video, usually a video, where you introduce the person to your product and you basically show them the basics of why it can appeal to them. So when you're making this, think of your USPs, right? The unique selling points, the reasons why somebody would buy it, the benefits, that kind of thing. Now, think of the things that your prospects currently want but are not getting from other products. How are others failing, all right? If you're a skincare brand, you want to think about, when someone buys a product from CeraVe or someone else, or Curology, what reasons would they have for not using it or for throwing it away, right? Because there are always going to be folks who are, unsatisfied, and you want to figure out the possible reasons for that and, take it a step further and solve those reasons. So it's even better if you survey them and ask, but if you can't, you can always check, online forums and discussion places to see what people, talk about, see what people's issues are, their problems, because they aren't the only people having their problems. Others have them too. So you generally want to go and find discussion places where folks speak, and you can figure out what they're thinking and what their issues might be. So let's get into it. Part one of the structure of this ad is the intro. So the intro, typically in video form, would be like the first 3 seconds of the video. You use this to basically intro your product and say, hey, introducing this product, or just, say this is a product or whatever. It's where you tell the person that this product exists, all right? Now, part two is the value section, and in this section, you essentially want to let the person know about what it's about, what the product does, the features of it, all right? And you want to give them 2 or 3 seconds to read this, or if you want, you can make it more engaging and display the features one by one, so the person has to wait to read. It's good because people don't like text walls. They don't like a ton of text at one time, so people tend to prefer to, you're more likely to read text line by line, one by one, than to just have all of it appear at once and just bombard you. So that's part two. Part three is the final benefit section. This is another section where you essentially want to just display the benefits of those features in front of the person. So for example, better skin in 2 weeks, less acne in 2 weeks, make a meal at home in 20 minutes, quick, punchy, easy to understand, and you want this benefit to be simple, all right? And what can go wrong here is usually the video might be a little too fast and not give people a chance to read the content. Don't do that. Apart from that, you can also use too much jargon. What this means is if you're an inventor of a new product, chances are you know all about it, you understand it already, so you have the curse of knowledge, which means you don't know what it's like anymore to not know this product. So you have lost the ability to explain it to somebody else who doesn't know. So if you can, try to get other people to write this for you, or try to at least run it by folks, or let brand new people try it out and then tell you how they would describe it to new people. And then you can adjust to suit whatever you want to do, or however your brand speaks. And the third thing is imagery is underwhelming. It can be underwhelming at times, and it can not intrigue people. So you want to pick imagery that is detailed and is appealing. This is going to be different for every brand, so it's kind of hard to pin down, but I'll show you an example later. But think about food ads. If you see a good ad for food, it'll make you hungry on the spot. And that's what you want to. You want to bring that same kind of energy, that same kind of appeal to the ad of whatever it is you're showing. So in part one, you can generally show images of people using your product or your product being made or something like that. In part two, you want to just show people either a feature or the product, but you want to talk about the features, talk about what's unique about it, why it's worth buying. And then in part three, you talk about what it'll bring to their life. All right, that's the benefit part of it. And lastly, you want to just talk about, you want to just showcase the product. And if you want, you can continue pointing out new features, or you can just leave it there and let the person decide. And you can use a general benefit. Part two can have two sections. The reason why I say this is because sometimes you might want to, put features down and benefits. In part three, it's more of a single line, like generalized benefit, like better skin in 2 weeks, or make a meal at home in 10 minutes. Right? That's a one-line benefit. But in part two, the value section, you can kind of break this up into two separate pieces of content, and just tell the person, features here, benefits here, and then overarching benefit in part three. Now, here's an example of a company that's not exactly doing this well. Frontman's they have a great product, but what they're missing is there's nothing here in their ad that really shows you what this product is from the beginning. Some of this tries to. Some of the text here tries to tell you a couple of benefits of it, but it doesn't really introduce it as, hey, here this product is. This is how it works. This is what it does for your life. Most of these ads miss that mark. However, SoloWave here does a marvelous job at this. This is how they try to do it. All right, so that's a general example, and that is how you do a product introduction ad. It's pretty simple. However, a lot of people miss it and do it wrong because they either don't have enough benefits in it, they don't make it engaging, and even the sound matters too, because you want people to enjoy reading the content, right? And reading it in silence may not be as engaging and as enjoyable as reading it with some catchy music in the background. So either way, that ad layout, a lot of people overlook it because they might think about UGC more, they might think about, other types of ads, but getting a good product intro is extremely important because it gets people to understand your product, and it's a good entry point into your brand. Now, secondly, this can also be an image form. And for image form, you really want to just stick to a really clean image that has maybe like 1 or 2 lines of text on it that just really encapsulates your product in, as little wall of text as possible. Text is good, but you don't want to overdo it because it's an image and people want to be able to scan it. They don't want to have to read it like an essay. But that's just the general gist of it. If you nail this, you will be able to make a ton of cash here because people just need to understand your product, and half of the time, they'll be willing to either check it out or make a purchase.